We got another Manning coming at us. This guy is the number one quarterback prospect in the 2023 recruiting class. Hot commodity. His videos, his tape is actually all over social media. There's days I don't get by browsing Twitter without seeing him on my screen. I've watched him off and on throughout the process. I can tell you, he looks legit. He's got the Manning name, so everybody's interested in him. But with that being said, let's look at this guy. Let's watch the highlights. Let's look at his profile. Let's see what we can see out of Arch Manning. Here we are, guys. We're on the 247 Sports player profile page. We do this with every prospect. Just give me a gauge of what Arch Manning is before we dig into the highlights. If you're just here for the highlights, just fast forward a little bit. You'll hit him. As you see here, 5-star recruit, both the composite and the 247 Sports rankings. Number one QB on both. Number one player out of state and in the nation. 6'4", 210 is what he's listed at here at the top. And he's not committed anywhere, which is probably smart on his end. And all you see on the top of the list here is big schools. Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss. All warm. Let's go through the whole list. Texas is warm. Now we got the cool zone. Boston College, Duke, North Carolina, SMU, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Oklahoma, USC. So Clemson, Alabama, Ole Miss, LSU. There's some Ole Miss ties with the Mannings, so you can't count them out. Clemson, Alabama, they're always going to be in there. Georgia, some interesting schools going after him. Let me know in the comments who you think he's going to sign with. Usually when I post something about Arch Manning, there's people jockeying for position, trying to say their school's going to get him. So let me know who you think Arch Manning's going to go to. Here, they don't have a comp for him. Projection, Power 5. If you're going to have him rated so high this early, they're probably got him projected as a first rounder. Let's see here. 2020 led New Orleans to a 9-1 record in Louisiana Division III state semi-final berth. I couldn't read that, Isidore or whatever. As a freshman, led New Orleans Isidore Newman to a 9-2 record in a second-round playoff appearance. Not bad. The family lineage. Peyton Manning, uncle. Eli Manning, uncle. Archie Manning, grandfather. What a family. What bloodlines you got to be. You're just born being able to throw the rock. 2019, passed for 2,438 yards. 2020, passed for 1,922 yards. 34 touchdowns, 21 touchdowns. Not a lot of interceptions. On the career, 55 touchdowns to 13 INTs. And everything seems to check out. Obviously, we don't have athletic specs here. You don't really need that on quarterback, but we're going to see it from the highlights anyways. High-end prospect, obviously 5-star guy. A lot of good going on with him. We're definitely going to be seeing him play on Saturdays. From a fantasy football perspective, I already got him on some Devy teams. I drafted him actually like a year or so ago because I'm a degenerate. But with that being said, let's look at the tape. All right, guys, I have the highlights pulled up. I'm going into these highlights a little naked. I just want to react off them, but I've seen him play a lot. I have him on some of my fantasy teams. It's hard to ignore his highlights because they're in your face so much. People are pushing his content out so much. But enjoy him slinging the rock. He's got a good arm. Enjoy him reading the defense and watch him roll out a little bit and sling dimes. But let's watch the show here. So, play action, quick deep ball. Money puts it in place to where his wide receiver can make yards after the catch, which is always good. Rolling out, hits his receiver. He's not like a burner, like he doesn't have Lamar Jackson speed, but he can move a little bit and then sling it. Let's go back to that play. Let's go back to there. So he's behind the line. Watch him lose his footing and just sling it like off kilter. That was kind of a cool throw. Another deep ball between those two guys. He's got an arm on him. He runs like a Manning. He definitely runs like a Manning. You definitely can't confuse him for not being a Manning. Little bit of mobility. I like how he can find guys when he's on the run. He's not super fast. I'm not saying that, but just his ability when he's rolling out and being able to find guys here when pressured, make smart decisions. I like seeing that. Another good ball. Him moving around and just slinging it. Another deep pass. Quick pass right there. And I like these highlights too because we're seeing him react with the play breaking down. And you can tell when he has to operate through trash, he makes a lot of good decisions. All right, guys, let's bring it in. Let's recap Arch Manning real quick. Small sample. We only had a few minutes of highlights there. But from what we saw a guy that keeps composed. This is a good highlight reel because we saw him have to make decisions on the fly, have to make decisions with defensive linemen in his face. He's got a little bit of mobility. I wouldn't say Lamar Jackson-esque. I wouldn't even say Dak Prescott, but he can move around the back of behind the line of scrimmage and make plays happen. So he can extend it. He can make throws while on the run or on the jog, whatever you want to call it. But he makes quick decisions. He's pinpoint accurate. He has an arm on him. And I can see why he's rated so high. I can see why they consider him one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. He definitely looks like a Manning. But I want to thank you for watching the show, sticking with me. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every time someone hits that subscribe button, that motivates me to keep pushing out this content for all of you guys. Hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.